Smell that. It smells delicious. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I am Iris S. Thurman, and I'm going to make my grandma's southern fried chicken. So let's talk about the ingredients. Is the chicken. And we also have our garlic and herbs, our Old Bay seasoning, which is our complete seasoning, our mustard, our eggs, milk, and our flour. Now, you wonder why we have eggs and milk, but it's a trick, and I'll teach you that. First things first, let's season our chicken. We're gonna position our chicken here so that we can now season it. So we'll take the chicken and put it here. Now, the key to this chicken, this is my grandma's favorite recipe. Anytime we go to grandma's house, we always want her chicken. So I pride myself in making it just the way she does. So, of course, we're gonna take our seasoning. Now, whenever you're seasoning the chicken, the seasoning you start with on the front is not the seasoning you start with on the back because you want the flavor to simmer through. So, first we're gonna start with our garlic and herbs and season it up nice. See, we're gonna do it a little pretty at first, but we're gonna take and put some flavor to it after. Now, your garlic and herbs doesn't provide the salt texture to it, but it gives it a lot of flavor. We're gonna go ahead and put that on our chicken. And remember, this is the southern fried way. Now, whenever you're southern frying chicken, you wanna kind of make sure that you get it all over all of the chicken. Before you add your mustard, you just wanna rub it in, just gently rub it, plus on your head while you're rubbing. You just get it nice and textured throughout. What you'll do next is you're gonna flip the chicken because you wanna make sure that both sides are seasoned completely, okay? Now, remember what I said, we are not going to put the garlics and herbs on first, so we're gonna kind of switch it up and put the salt on first. And this is the adobe seasoning. We're gonna just lightly put that on there. Then you take your garlic and your herbs and then you put that on. Nice and pretty. It's already pretty and it smells so good. I'm hungry. Again, we massage the chicken. Massage the chicken. Massage the chicken. Massage the chicken. Say it with me. Massage the chicken. Massage the chicken. So as we're massaging the chicken, get it nice and textured throughout. So each piece will have some good texture on it. And it'll be nicely seasoned. The reason why we use mustard is because mustard, what it does is when you put mustard on a meal, it captures the seasoning, it locks it in. So we're going for our mustard. I'm a dancing cook. Yeah, that's me. I am she. So we'll take and put our mustard on each piece of the chicken just so that we can make sure it captures that pretty yellow color. Now, don't be scared to get a little dirty in the kitchen as long as your kitchen is clean. My grandmother used to always say, never cook in a dirty kitchen. And I always remember that. So now what you do is you take and massage the chicken. But what you're doing is you're actually taking the mustard and making sure that it's getting in every area of the chicken so that it can, when you're frying it, it captures all the seasoning in the inside instead of with any oil. Nice and yellow. Now normally, only because we're on camera, would I be cooking and making such a beautiful mess, looking as cute as I do. The only reason I'm doing this is because of you guys. Hi! Just for you. Normally, I'll be in some shorts and a t-shirt, getting it nice and ready for my boys, because they're always hungry. All right, so when you have it nicely seasoned this way, of course, you're going to want to wash your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands so that we can go to the next step. You take your 2 eggs and you put it in a bowl. No shells. No shells. We wouldn't want them to eat southern fried shell chicken, would we? No, we wouldn't. They wouldn't talk about me. So we get our milk and our eggs and we put it in. All right. So of course we're gonna mix that together. You can use buttermilk. It's whatever's to your liking, and you don't necessarily have to use whole milk. You can also use 1%, 2% milk. Now, I'll tell you, if you're doing that just because, you know, you're watching your girl is frigger, I'll tell you that once you fry it, it doesn't matter anyway. Okay. It's the egg that will actually give you that crispy taste. So you would then do a 2-step process. Now, we're going to go ahead and move these out of our way. Remember, we don't cook in a dirty kitchen, so we have everything nicely organized. All right. Now, right before we do this, we're going to preheat our stove for the oil. So we're shifted because of the wonderful world of editing. We're over here at the stove. Now, we're going to finish our prep stage so that we can fry. Sizzle. Bring it all together. All right. So we're going to take the chicken and we're going to dip both sides. So you just want it to have the lather with the egg and the milk. And then we're going to take and put it in the flour. Same thing, same concept, both sides. And you want to make sure that the flour is on every part of the chicken. And now we are ready to fry. Ooh, sizzle. Turn it down just a minute, just a bit. And we'll follow this same concept with all of them. You know, and I'll share with you. Can I share with you guys? Is that a yes? Is that a yes? Okay. I'll share with you my food story. You know, one of the things that is so important to me is family. And my grandmother gave us this recipe. We would always come into the kitchen and she would be cooking and we're just watching in such amazement, right, as kids. And she would go step by step. Now, Iris, this is what you do. Now, Jamelia, this is what you do. And we would just ask questions. And I remember that to this day. And I think I was all of 8 or 9 years old. But she used to say, the best way to a man's heart is through his belly. Well, you know, best way to my heart is through my belly too. Do I count? Do I count? I count. So she would just have these moments with us in the kitchen where, you know, we would learn how to prepare dinner. We would learn just different things about life. This is where we had our go-to moments when we could share and talk about a lot of stuff, which is one of the reasons why I started my charity. My charity is called I Am Me. It's the I Am Me movement. The movement is for girls dealing with depression, suicide, not knowing how to, you know, handle the everyday situations. So what we do is we engage our girls on character and character building so that they understand that, you know what, no matter what life throws at you, you can push forward to the next day and still know that it's okay to be who you are, mature and empowered. I am me. And that's what my grandma used to always tell us while cooking and showing us how to cook. It was a twofold. She was also giving us life skills, everyday life skills on loving yourself, knowing who you are, and, you know, being okay with it, no matter what. So, to all of you food lovers in the house, hey, remember, it's okay to be who you are. And when you're thinking about downloading this recipe on recipekarma.com, let me say it again, download this recipe on recipekarma.com, you'll remember that lady talked about her grandmother and the things that her grandma taught her about being mature and empowered. And you'll be donating those funds to young ladies who are learning to be mature and empowered. So take that to the house. Take it to the house. My house. So while we're going, we're going to put all the chicken in. See that? See that? That's nice, 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 nice. So we'll let that fry up. And usually the chicken takes about 20 minutes to fry. But maybe we can have us some one-on-one time. Are you good with that? And don't forget to follow me on social media at the I Am Me movement. And download this recipe at recipekarma.com with other recipes as well. So it's been about 10 minutes. So now we're going to look at our chicken and prepare it to flip it over. See, it's nice, crisp, So it's gonna take about maybe 15 or 20 minutes for it to be completely cooked. But we're gonna flip all of the chickens over and then we're gonna let it cook a little longer. Nice and golden brown. You can always tell when it's almost there on the other side, when it's nicely golden brown. So I usually flip it and make sure some of the oil drains off of it so that the chicken soaks into the paper towel. And we let it sit for a moment. And at that point, we take just a little bit of our herb seasons and just to garnish it a little bit to make it nice and pretty. Ta-da! Through the power of editing, we're all done. Smell it. It smells delicious. Want some? Want some? Want some? Sorry, you're not here. But you can get this recipe on recipekarma.com. You know, my grandmother's Southern fried chicken recipe was always near and dear to my heart because my grandma really sold into her granddaughters for us to understand that it's okay to be who we are, which is why I love what we're doing for the I Am Me movement. Now, to support the movement, you can go to recipekarma.com and you can download this recipe and enjoy it. Or if you have a nonprofit that you would like to sow into or someone that's in need, you can do your own campaign right at recipekarma.com. Toodles! See you later. It's time to eat. My stomach is ready.